Hello, my loves. Okay, let me ask you a question. When you find yourself feeling joyful, feeling happy, feeling full of love, what is the thing that happened right before that? Do you tend to look for good things only after you've filtered them against something less savory? That's the question that we're going to be answering today. So let's get into today's episode. Welcome to the Manifesting Millions podcast, where we talk about manifestation, money, and practical guidance to creating your dream reality. My name is Amy Van Meel, and I am an experienced coach and transformation guide, obsessed with helping you get out of your own way and create a life that blows your mind each day you wake up. My goal in this podcast is to share practical manifestation, self-awareness, and growth techniques in real talk conversations. So if you're ready to massively transform your reality, your finances, your relationships, and your overall enjoyment of life, you are in the right place. I am absolutely delighted that you're here with me today, babe. Let's get into it. Hello, my loves, and welcome back to the Manifesting Millions podcast. I am your host, Amy Van Meel. I'm super delighted to be here with you today. You're getting my sexy morning voice. Hello, welcome. Because I am like just fresh off of my cup of coffee. I haven't even had a shower or done anything yet. I was doing my reading while I was having my coffee, which is one of my favorite things to do. And something came in and I was like, okay, I got to record a podcast on this right now. So I want to give a little bit of context as to where my brain was at as I was reading the book. And I'll tell you what the book is in a minute. It doesn't matter too much other than just so you know the context of what I was reading. So yesterday we had a giant snowstorm all across Calgary, across the mountains. We just got a huge amount of snow, and like super heavy. I call it heart attack snow because it's like the kind that's so heavy when you shovel it, it feels like you're always going to hear a story about somebody having a heart attack. Anyway, and my plan was I saw the forecast, I saw it coming in, and I was like, okay, I think on Friday I'm going to go skiing. And then like I'll come home and I can get ready. I have one of my long time friends is coming out this weekend to see me. I'm so freaking excited that she's going to be here. But of course I have to do some things to get ready for her to be here. So I figured, okay, I'm going to go skiing. I'll have a great time in the morning and then I'll go be a responsible adult and get ready for hosting. As I'm watching the forecast, I was like, okay, there's going to be all this great snow. It's going to be awesome. And I'm so glad that there was this little like twig in my brain that said, Amy, just double check your calendar because I feel like there might be something on Friday. And sure enough, excuse me, I have a podcast interview today at 1:00. And I was like, well, shit, if I go skiing, like I'll barely get there. And then I'm going to have to pack up and turn around to be here in time for the podcast. And that's just not a great idea. So I decided at like 10:30 on Wednesday night, I'm going to go skiing on Thursday, even though I had a giant stack of things that I wanted to get done on Thursday. But I was like, the mountain is going to close on Sunday. Literally, like I can't wait until next week because the snow will be gone, the mountain will be closed. Now is the time to enjoy what is available. So I headed out to the mountain yesterday morning. The roads were crazy. All of the radio DJs were like, if you can stay home, stay home. Like, please don't be out. There were accidents all over the city. The highway was not in great shape. I'm pretty sure that the only people other than truck drivers on the road were skiers like me who were like, it's fucking snowing. We're going to the mountain. So I get to the mountain. I had a fucking awesome morning. Like the official snow report from the mountain was 18 centimeters of fresh snow. Which I'm going to say that was probably on the lower mountain because I think on the upper mountain we had like
25 centimeters or more of just gorgeous, fresh snow. If you know, you know, okay? For my skiers and snowboarders out there, you're all probably like salivating at this idea of, oh my God, 25 centimeters of fresh, gorgeous snow. Yes, please. So skied my sweet little heart out. I had plans with another friend that I had to be back in the city for at 2 o'clock. So I was watching the clock very carefully. I skied right until the last very moment that I could, got in the car, headed back to the city, had my visit with my friend, and then I was very excited. I was taking my love out on a date last night to a Lee Brice concert. So I heard about this concert on the radio. I promise, if you're like, why are you telling me this whole thing about your day? I promise I'm going to bring this all together, but I want you to understand the context of the day, okay? So I heard on the radio a couple weeks ago, I don't know, maybe 3 weeks ago, about Lee Brice coming to town. If you don't know who Lee Brice is, go find him on Spotify. He's got some great music. He's a country musician, and one of my like favorite songs, he sings it, and it was just so when I heard on the radio that he was going to be here, I was like, oh, that would be awesome. And then I heard the critical thing that changed everything for me. There was a radio station giving away tickets, and they did like a Price is Right kind of a like game or whatever. So they had people call in and they had to like guess the price of the tickets that they were giving away. And then they tell you like what's the actual retail price of the tickets is. And so the host said, well, the actual retail price of the tickets is $26. And I was like, I'm sorry, hold the phone. Say what? $26? I can make $26 happen. So I did some looking. I found tickets and dipped into my savings a little bit, which you might be like, Amy, you have to dip into savings for $25 tickets. Yes, because I actually move my money probably differently than most, and I have money set aside for joyful things like this in an account that I think I call it Abundant Amy or Amy's Abundance or something. That is I have a little money that goes into it every month. Most of the time I don't use it because it's a savings account. It just sits there. But for like special things like this that come up that I'm like, oh, that would be so amazing. And I don't want to strain the income that I have. I use my savings account for it. So we go to the concert. We have an amazing time. And my husband doesn't know the musician, so he doesn't know any of the songs. But I said, I guarantee you're going to recognize some of the music and it'll just be a great time. I was in so much joy the whole evening. I just had the biggest smile on my face. I sang along at the top of my lungs with like the songs that I recognized. I enjoyed the music of the songs that I didn't. We had a wonderful, wonderful time. So, all of yesterday was a day like from the moment I woke up until the moment I put my head on the pillow to go to sleep, that was just filled with these wonderful moments of abundant friggin' joy. Loving the simple experiences that I created in my life. It's very easy for someone on the outside to go, well, Amy, but like you chose to go skiing and you love to go skiing, so obviously you're going to be happy. You chose to go to that concert and you like that guy's music, so obviously you would be happy. Yes, and also this is what fascinates me. It doesn't matter how good the snow conditions are, how much snow that we got, how early we are in the season still skiing, how late we are in the season still skiing, how gorgeous the day is, whatever. There is always going to be somebody who is going to find something wrong with the ski day. So yesterday, for the most part, everybody that I saw, and generally I only like talk with people when we're sitting on the chairlift because otherwise we're skiing. So there was these two guys in the chairlift, and they were kind of having a good time, but the whole ride up the mountain, they were talking about like, oh, like the snow on top is really great, but like, man, underneath it's like it's really hard, and my knees can't take it, and like it's really icy, and blah 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 blah. And I'm like, dude, it's the back half of April. Like if you were here 2 days ago, you would know that it's spring conditions underneath, and with a fresh blanket of snow on top, yeah, if you get down to the bottom, it's going to be a little hard pack. That's just the reality of the season. But I'm like, you got to be kidding me. And it happens every time. It doesn't matter how amazing the day is, somebody is going to find a reason to complain. The concert last night was fabulous, and I didn't love all of the pieces that got played, but I enjoyed everything got played, and I really loved just being in the energy, being around, like I don't even know how many thousand people that were in the concert with us. Um, Being in that space of being in the vibe of the musicians on stage, because it's a different energy than if you're just listening to it on like your stereo or on the radio or whatever. And still somebody is going to be complaining about something, right? Like, the people behind me are singing too loud, or I don't know, the person next to me got busted, I guess, for recording a video, but only got busted because they had like a giant light on, and I don't know, I guess they were annoying the people in front of them. And like, there's always going to be something to complain about, but I'm like, this is fucking awesome. Like, this is another dream come true for me, to be at this concert, to just be in this space, to have been able to make it possible to treat my love to a night out like this. Like, I was in so much joy. So this morning, I'm reading a book. I think it's called, I believe it's called Attract Money Now by Dr. Joe Vitale. I don't know if I said his name correctly. It's one that Amanda Francis talks about inside her Money Mentality Makeover, I think, in like the first module. She's like, I read this book, it changed my life. And I'm like, okay, well, like, let's go check it out. This is how I find most of my books, like someone that I am following and I'm very curious about, how did they expand their knowledge? They'll recommend a book. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to go see what it's about. I have mixed feelings about the book. There's some good parts, but there's definitely some parts that I have to sort of like, okay, Amy, you don't have to take everything literally. Let's just, look for the essence of the book. So this chapter was talking about, the chapter I was reading this morning, I think it was talking about like, I think it's about conscious spending. I don't actually remember for sure, but this is a thought came through as I was reading. This is why listening to podcasts is so good. This is why whether you read a book or you do an audiobook, like connecting into content that someone else has created is so good, because what it does is that it sparks insights and neural connections in our brains that we may not have had without that outside influence. So, so often, this happens to me all the friggin' time. I'll be listening to something or reading something, and I will have this awareness or some kind of like reflection or an idea that comes through that has nothing to do specifically with the content that I'm taking in. But it creates this like beautiful opening and expansion in my thinking and in potentially like what I'm about to create. So that's very cool. So I'm reading this chapter, and there was they were talking about something like scarcity mindset, and how if you're constantly focusing on lack, then of course that's all you're going to see, right? That's fine. Got it. There was something that I watched. I'm pulling the pieces together for you, I promise. If you have Apple TV, if you have not yet watched the show Shrinking, I highly recommend. Oh my God, I love it so much. And in the show Shrinking, which is like, if you try to say that 3 times fast, especially if you've had a few drinks, I feel like that's not going to go so well. In the show Shrinking, there was a line, because I just watched an episode the other day, and there was a line about something like, sometimes we need bad things to happen in order to remind us of the good that's around us. That thought came through as I was reading this morning's the reading through the book, like the talking about conscious spending and talking about lack mindset. And that's when all of this came together, and I'm like, I got to grab the microphone. We need to talk about this. And here is the whole raison d'etre. Sorry for those of you who speak French properly. Of what has brought today's recording together. My question is this: why are we more motivated by pain in order to enjoy and appreciate the good things in our life? Why is this the thing that we feel we need in order to truly enjoy? Now, I understand that there is power in contrast. We, like, my wedding day with my love was the most incredible day. I just like it's a friggin' miracle to me. It was just the most amazing day. My heart felt like it could have enveloped the entire galaxy. I was in so much joy. I felt such amazing love. It was such a wonderful day. And I recognize that part of what allowed me to realize how wonderful that day was is the fact that I've had some like really fucking low days, right? Some really hard times, some really hard, difficult, challenging experiences. Like, I understand that the contrast can help us appreciate the good things a bit more. But my question is, why is our default that we need to be motivated by pain in order to start looking around and appreciating what's around us? So often, I don't know what your life looks like. I don't know the people that are around you, but I am willing to bet, because this seems to be proving out no matter where you live in the world or what kind of people you hang out with, it seems that most people really are constantly focused on things not going well. Great example. We had the opportunity to do a ski trip to Kicking Horse in March. So like 6 weeks ago. Oh my God, I can't believe it. Well, no, 4 weeks ago, which still feels like a lifetime ago. Anyway, I digress. I had never been to Kicking Horse ski resort. I was very excited about it. I was a little bit nervous because it's a bigger mountain. It's more steep and has more challenging terrain than what I have um, like generally skied up until this point. But I was very excited about it. Now, last year, so last season, there was an accident. There was a gondola at the ski resort and something happened. A gondola came off the track, and I think like a few people died as a result. I did not know this, and it doesn't matter. Like, the ski resort is open. Everything obviously like would have been checked out and like repaired, and everything would be fine. In the like 3 months leading up to the ski trip, whenever someone say like, oh, because they know that my love and I like to go on ski trips. Amy, like, where are you guys going this year? What are you gonna do? And I said, oh, we're actually gonna do a ski trip to Kicking Horse. And every fucking person was like, oh, yeah, somebody died there last year. Hey, like the gondola fell off and they died. And I was thinking about this yesterday as I was on the chairlift at the ski hill, and I'm just like, why is that the thing that everybody comes up to first? Not, oh my gosh, that sounds like a lot of fun. Not, oh, have you been there before? Not, oh, I had a friend there, or I've skied there before. None of those things. Not one person said anything like that. Every single person said, oh yeah, that like a couple of people died there from the gondola last year. And I'm like, how is that helpful? That doesn't, if it was unsafe, it wouldn't be open. We live in Canada, not in like, I don't know, somewhere where like the safety standards are really sketch. I don't know what the scenario is for like what caused the accident, why those people ended up dying as a result. I, as someone who certainly does the work that I do and looks at the world in the way that I also do, there is a part of me that says, okay, well, I don't know what happened. And also, I'm going to guess that somewhere in those people's soul contract was that was the way and the timing of how they would pass out of this physical world. So I don't think that that's, in my soul contract that we're going to go to this this ski trip and suddenly we're going to die in a gondola crash. But you know what? If it's going to happen, well, nothing I do now can stop that. But if I focus on the fear, and if I focus on this like constant sense of like, oh God, like what if this is going to happen? And the first gondola ride up, I had to really focus my thoughts on the joyful things, focus my thoughts on being in the moment, focus my thoughts on like, I am safe and secure and everything is running fine, because all that was coming through was this constant fucking diatribe from everybody. You know, somebody died here. You know that they had an accident last year. And I'm like, but that's not helping. It actually steals joy. So, coming back to the whole focus of today's episode, if you are using pain, struggle, fear as your motivation, as your inspiration to enjoy the joyful things in life, my question is, why are you doing it? Why are you choosing that is the filter by which you now see the good things in your life? And as a follow-up question, how much more joyful and peaceful and calm and easy could your experience in life be if instead of needing to use pain, struggle, and fear to motivate you to enjoy those things, you simply enjoyed those things? Right? You go to the concert and instead of seeing the things that, like, there are things happening there that I don't love. I didn't love that, like, I was saying last night, I feel like, in 10 years, maybe all the, what do they call them? Like the conference chairs, where they like link all the chairs together. I feel like those chairs are going to get bigger because I got to say, there's like no fucking room. I don't like when they link all the chairs together. It's one of my least favorite things if I ever go to a conference because you're just like, you're basically sitting on top of the other person. There's no room for your shoulders. There's no room for your hips. Unless you're like a size 0, it's like impossible to fit in there, right? It just does not work well for fully formed adults. And certainly if you're someone who is carrying more weight, or like my brother is a very broad-shouldered guy, like he would just be squashed in there. I mean, we can talk about this with airline seats as well. So it wasn't the like most awesome experience for a concert in that way. I could focus on that. I could be like, man, I feel like I'm really sitting on top of the person next to me. I could think about the fact that like when we were standing to enjoy the music and dancing along, there was barely any room. I could think about the fact that my legs were fucking sore and tired from having been skiing all that powder all morning long. But like, why? I can notice those things and still just like let it go. It's more of a, oh, okay, well, that's not awesome, but like, whatever, it's fine. As opposed to focusing on, oh, my legs are so sore, but like, I'm going to still dance along. Or these chairs are so uncomfortable, but like, what are you going to do? No, I'm going to focus. And I had to train myself to do this because certainly so much, obviously, of the world is conditioned on looking at all the things that are wrong and then going, well, but despite all that, I'm going to like choose to be joyful. And I'm like, you could just choose to be joyful. You can just choose to be in the moment. You can just choose to be happy. You don't have to choose to be happy despite what is happening. Are you understanding the distinction? Is it coming through clearly? You can simply choose to enjoy. When I sit in the evening with my love and we watch some TV, the simple things like fucking delight me. When he like snuggles in closer, it's like one of my favorite things. It's one of my favorite things. It's a quiet way that says to me, he just likes being around me. That's a really lovely feeling. When we go out for a walk, if he happens to hold my hand, like, oh my God, if you want to see my heart light up and we're just like walking on the sidewalk or whatever, and he goes to hold my hand, I'm just like, am I on cloud 9? I think so. This is amazing. These are the things that can be joyful so long as we allow and encourage ourselves and focus our attention on these things. So my encouragement for you as you continue to move forward in this week and like in life in general is to practice some awareness. Are you in a place where you have you're operating from the programming that says I need pain, struggle, fear, scarcity, lack in order to motivate, inspire, encourage me to enjoy the good things in my life? And if that is what you are finding, and be honest with yourself, because, like, listen, the only person that's going to impact is you, really. Be honest with yourself. If that is what is happening, it's okay. You have learned that operating system, certainly from the people in the world and probably from the people around you in your life. But maybe, perhaps, there's a possibility that there is a more joyful, um, more fulfilling way to experience life that doesn't need to start with that negative filter as your springboard into joy and satisfaction and happiness. And then if you're starting to notice that and you start to play with that idea of, and this is why we've talked about this in the podcast before, but why asking questions of things is so fucking powerful. Because if you start to say, like, hey, wait a minute, why do I do this? Your brain has to come up with the answers. It's going to give you some like interesting insights. You might all of a sudden realize, like, you know what? My grandma was like that. Like, she was just, her whole thing was like, oh, life was so hard and man, I was so out of breath, but I still did it. And it's this energy of like, I overcame all these things. Look at me. How awesome am I? So there could be a person, there could be multiple people in your life that operate in that way. I know I certainly have people like that in my life. Drives me crazy, but whatever. They're going to do them. I don't need to keep choosing to move in that way. So as you start questioning those things, as you start questioning, why is this the default? It'll also, I'm sorry to tell you, it will ruin like some TV and movies and stuff for you because it's this constant, like, well, the whole hero's journey is a story of overcoming. So it needs to lay out, here's the struggle that we're having. And then, they went through the dark forest and now they have come out the other side and they are victorious. And I'm like, cool. But life continues on after that victory. And like in 5 days, they're going to be like, wait, I just had this amazing experience. Why do I feel like crappy or whatever now? Right? Anyway, it would be the movie that never ends. So as you start questioning the inputs that you are, how do I say this? The default inputs that cause you to shift to look for joy and happiness and fulfillment, as you start questioning those inputs, then it gives you the space to begin questioning and inviting in a different, more expansive way of experiencing life. If you start playing with the question, you're like, what if I didn't need to first feel like I, overcame this thing in order to enjoy this thing? What if I didn't have to convince myself that I deserve a ski day in order to like go enjoy a ski day? What if I could just enjoy being with my spouse, my kids, myself, the sunshine, the pouring rain, just because I enjoy that? What if I didn't have to filter it? This is something that drives me crazy, and again, there's this, listen, life is a lot, okay? There's a lot happening all the time. And I understand that we can get so mired in the day-to-day grind of life that we can forget for a moment some of the small things. But it is also how we are focusing our thoughts. So at this exact moment, in our kitchen, I'm sitting in the living room today, in our kitchen, the dishwasher is full, but clean. It needs to be unloaded. And so like half of the kitchen is stacked with dirty dishes. The sink is full of dishes that are like soaking so that it'll be easy to get them into the dishwasher later. It's super easy to focus on that and go like, ugh, it would have been great if, my husband had just tidied those up and like, couldn't he just fucking think about it last night? And it'd be great if I just, wouldn't it be amazing if I just had a maid and blah, blah, blah. Like, sure, that's easy to focus on and then go, but it's fine. It'll feel so good when it's all cleaned up. Or it's just a thing. It's just there. They're just dishes. It's just part of life. It's like laundry. You get so excited because your laundry is done. And then that night you put socks in the hamper and you're just like, and here we start all over again. Like, it's always, I remember as an adult being like, I can't really get ahead of laundry, can I? Because I'm constantly wearing clothes. So unless I start running around naked for a couple of days and I don't shower, there's going to be just laundry getting generated consistently. I digress. So, what was my point? I got so excited thinking about dishes and, oh, right. Okay, here we are. Thank you for sticking with me. It is very easy to focus on the things that we feel maybe aren't perfect, maybe are lacking, maybe aren't quite the way that we would like them to be in our life, in our spouse, in our kids, in our jobs, in the weather, in whatever. Or we can go, you know what? Okay, so like, I love playing in the snow, okay? Don't get me wrong. And I've said this to all of my friends in the city because they know how much I love to ski. They know that I wait for winter all summer long. But whenever it snows, they're like, I know, Amy, that you're enjoying this, but like, fuck, I'm over this. And I say this all the time. It doesn't actually have to snow in the city. All it needs to do is to snow in the mountain because I can't do anything with it here in the city, right? But it happens. It just is. It's a thing that just comes along. So I can focus on like, fuck, the snow is fucking heavy and it's fucking hard to shovel. And like, oh my God, we had so much snow on the back deck yesterday. It was insane. It took me so long to get it all shoveled off. But it's just part of life. And isn't it wonderful that my body is strong and capable enough that I can shovel the snow? Isn't it wonderful that we have a home that has a deck that I have the opportunity to keep clear of the snow? Isn't it amazing that we live in a climate that has four seasons? So I get to enjoy, like the turning of the leaves and the spring buds and like all the things. Isn't it wonderful that we have tools like a snow shovel that can help me, move all of this stuff? Isn't it amazing that the world is covered in pure white glitter? Those are so many like more joyful things to focus our attention on than fuck, this is heavy. Oh my God, now I'm working up a sweat and like it's taking forever and I'm, like, and now my back hurts, now my legs are sore and then blah, blah. Like the point is, and I'm going to wrap up the episode, is we get to choose the kind of experience that we want. And I'm challenging you, if you are being defaulted into joy, love, satisfaction, fulfillment through the lens of struggle, scarcity, fear, lack, you don't need to keep that lens active. You can enjoy life just because you can. You can be happy just because you want to. And it does not require that everything lines up perfectly. There's tons of stuff in my life that aren't lined up perfectly. And still, I would so much rather choose intentionally, actively, and constantly to look for the things that feel good, to enjoy the moments that feel really fulfilling. Like hugging my husband before he leaves for work in the morning or before we go to bed at night is one of my favorite things. To be able to feel his body close to mine, to be able to put my arms around him, to be able to feel his warmth, like that is one of my favorite things. And it's, I could focus in that moment of like, oh, like this isn't great, or I wish that like he's been having a cold the last couple of days, so not allowed to smooch him. And it's really easy to be like, it'd be great if I could like kiss him. be great if he shaved his face because I don't love how like pokey his cheeks are. It'd be great if, I don't know, like we could come up with a whole bunch of things. But instead I can go, this is one of my favorite things and I just love being here right in this moment. And even though everything in life is imperfect, this moment right here is pretty fucking awesome. And one day when we fall off a ski lift and shuffle off this mortal coil, one day we're not going to be here in this realm of world and we're not going to be able to experience these specific things. And we can keep going like, okay, well, one day I'm going to die, so I better enjoy this. Or, you know what? Like this world has some very specific experiences that we only can get in this world. Right? I don't know what happens on the quote other side of this current 3D reality that we call life and stuff. I don't know what the other side could look like. I have some like theories and ideas and guesses, but I don't have any fucking idea. There's nothing I can tell you with certainty. I couldn't even tell you with certainty that, like, for sure there is something that's on the other side. I have a pretty good idea that there must be. It just seems logical to me, but I can't tell you that. But what I do know, with some relative certainty, is, well, probably the experiences that are happening right here are probably not available in that other realm of life. And I don't know what the world is going to bring. So, you know what? Like who I am right now, who my husband is right now, who the people are right now around me, it's a unique mix that is like how amazing that it's come together so perfectly right now. That's cool. I'm going to enjoy it. All right, I'm going to end it there because I feel myself heading off into I'm just going to be repeating myself. So, if this episode has resonated with you, I would really love and appreciate if you would share this out. If you haven't yet done so, leave a review on the podcast. As always, if you do decide to share this out and you share it on the socials, first of all, thank you so much. I really appreciate you helping get the word out. And also be sure to tag me so that I can celebrate you and say thank you so much because I just think that's fun. If you've been listening to the last couple episodes, you'll know that coming up in just a couple of weeks, we are going to be going live with my 30 days to $8,000 experience. It is, oh my goodness, what a fun container to be in. This is going to be a program that it will just always be available. So if you decide that you don't hear about this until a year from now, that's also possible. If you decide that now is not the time for you, you can certainly join anytime. But there is something very juicy about being with me in this container when we go live in May, because if you do the VIP level, which as I've mentioned is only $47, that inside the VIP level, we're going to do 4 live group coaching calls. So you'll get all of the videos. If you haven't heard any of the episodes, let me tell you real quick what it's about. So 30 days to $8,000 is a up-leveling experience that I am sharing with you. I am in the process of creating the reality where I'm calling in an income level that I have not yet experienced in my business consistently. And I am showing you exactly what I am doing and how I am doing it every day for 30 days so that you can practice aligning your energy to call the things that you desire into your life. If you wanted a different income level, if you wanted to call something entirely different in, like maybe you want to call in a romantic partner or, I don't know, a promotion or a vacation or whatever, you can absolutely leverage what you'll find inside the experience to do that. What you will see, so it's going to be a new video every day for 30 days. It's a big commitment for me because I'm just like, oh my gosh, I got to post every single day for 30 days. You're going to see a new video from me every day for 30 days that is just like it's how do I say this? It is me doing the calibration for myself. You'll hear the language. All the videos have captions so that because sometimes the audio, especially if I'm not talking super loud, sometimes the audio, you might not hear what I'm saying, but you'll be able to see the words. You'll see the language that I use, the energy that I am moving in. I'm also sharing, like when I am doing, how do I say this? When I'm recalibrating. So if there's in the middle of the day, something funky is coming up or whatever, I will record that experience as well so that you can also see how to shift when things feel gross, when you are, feeling the fear, the doubt, the struggle, the worry, the whatever. So you'll get all of that as well. And then there are 3 levels. So you can start with me for as little as $5. That will get you all the videos for the 30 days, lifetime access. $27 gets you the videos, and I will email you any and all journal prompts for when I actually sit down to do journaling. And then $47 is the VIP experience where you get the videos, the journal prompts, and you get to join me inside 4 live group coaching calls to ask all the questions, to get real-time shifts, to say, hey, Amy, I can't figure this thing out. How do I say this? How do I move out of this? How do I shift this? How are you doing this? Whatever. Those live group coaching calls are going to be gold. They will all be recorded. If you sign up after the live container is done, those recordings will be in your portal. So you can definitely still catch them, but there's a reason why being in this live container is so juicy, because you actually will have the chance to ask me the questions. So that's the 30 days to $8,000. I would love to see you inside the experience. I really feel like the world wants, is asking for some simple step-by-step daily guidance of how to shift the things so that we can call in more of what we want to have. And that's the heart behind 30 days to $8,000. So come join me inside. The link is in the show notes. And last thing I'll say as a little teaser, I am working on a collaboration. I'm very excited about it. There's something very, very juicy coming out in June. You need to be on the email list in order to receive the invite to this very exciting thing that I have coming out. I promise you, I cannot tell you any more than that right now, but I promise you it is so freaking worth it. You are going to want to be part of this experience. There's going to be some amazing opportunities coming through that will cost you $0. And holy smokes, you definitely want to be part of it. So if you are not yet on the Insights email list, get on the Insights email list so that when June comes, you know what's happening and you're on the inside track, because it's only going to be getting shared to people on the email list. So the link to join is in the show notes. It's amyvanmeel.com/insights. Join me inside. That was weird. Join me on the email list, and we'll go from there. All right, my loves, have a fucking wonderful day. Choose for happiness first. Choose for joy first. Choose to just be in the moment and soak up all of the goodness. And let me know. Let me know how, if this has resonated for you and you start practicing this. I would really love to hear what you're noticing and what is shifting, or what you're becoming aware of as a result of letting go of needing that filter of struggle, scarcity, fear, lack as your first input in order to choose for joy, love, happiness, and fulfillment. I would really love to find out what that sounds like for you. So you can always message me on Instagram. I think there's an email in my show notes as well. So you can also reach out to me by email. And if you're on my email insights list, you can always hit reply to any of the emails and those will come to me. The sun is shining. It looks fucking gorgeous outside. I need to get my tush What am I doing today? I think I need to hit the shower because I have a huge stack of things to get done before my podcast interview this afternoon. So I will be also, here, like all the little PSAs at the end. I will be sharing the podcast interviews. If you follow me on the socials, you'll see all the shares in real time. But I'm going to be putting together a playlist of all the interviews that I've done. So if you are curious and you want to dive deeper into my world, and I love doing podcast interviews because the conversations are different. So you'll hear me speak about ideas, insights, and content in a different way. And because every host has their own way of asking questions, every host has their own specific focus that they want for their podcast. So I get to communicate in these really different and unique ways that can really create some very, very big insights and ahas for you. So once I get the playlist ready, I'll make sure that that's in the show notes as well. And it will just be a consistent link so you can always find it. That playlist will likely be on Spotify because that's where I tend to spend most of my time when I'm listening to things. But you can certainly, I'm sure you can make your own on like Apple Podcasts or whatever podcast platform that you have. So there's going to be some really juicy ones, and I'm going to pull all the interviews from I did some a few years back that were more focused on building business. So if you're like growing your business, building a business, have the idea of wanting to build a business, there's going to be some good episodes for you. Okay, my loves, have a wonderful day. I will see you next week. Bye for now.
Thank you so much for tuning in to today's episode. If you loved what you heard today, be sure to share it with me by leaving a review on your favorite podcast platform and help me reach more like-minded people who are ready to expand their life. If you haven't yet followed me on social media, find me on Instagram for extra love and inspiration by following @AmyVanMeal or visit my website at amyvanmeal.com. I love you so much, babe, and I am damn proud of you. I am already excited to connect in the next episode. And in the meantime, believe in yourself with the confidence of a 5-year-old.